He loves the money, though.
He likes
loves
the
it.
money. He can go to bed now.
Show
He's
me
done.
the money.
Show me the money. Hello, everybody. Good
Welcome back.
afternoon and welcome back. It is our second episode of
Fresh Takes.
Episode 2. So, we've had quite a busy day of filming, actually. I don't know if you can tell. We've just finished filming our second episode of Fresh Produce, which is really exciting with Harry Gill.
Harry
Gill, big him up. Went really well, I think. It was really interesting.
Yeah, I think that would be a really interesting episode.
Yeah.
Which you guys can tune into, obviously.
Yeah.
Very interesting guy.
Really
fantastic musician. Very talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a great guy overall.
Yeah,
really
great guy.
We had a really good time. I mean, it's our second time doing that, which is always something that we really enjoy. Yeah. With doing the Fresh Produce especially, but it's nice. I think especially in this space that we're lucky enough to be in again.
He was the first guest in this space. So that was nice.
Which is very exciting. So we're very glad to be back.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to be doing stuff like that, and a really interesting story. As we was talking about his busking, which is great. The new releases and things that he's been working on, how he got into music and stuff, and that'll be coming out soonish. We won't
soonish. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
Stay tuned. It's a reason to subscribe, eh?
Yeah. I think it'd be nice if I can just talk about the differences, because obviously Fresh Produce and Fresh Takes have similar names, and they're both going to be set in here in our studio. So yeah, if you're interested in music and you're interested in Brighton-based music, Fresh Produce is a series where we'll be interviewing these artists such as Savannah, such as Harry. They're going to be performing songs for us live and just getting to know them better, their musical journey, and just a bit about their
them
and their life. Yeah.
Great.
So if you're interested in that, go check it out.
Go and check it out. Yeah.
But yeah, Fresh Takes will be predominantly film-based.
Yeah,
and us.
And us talking about our lives, really, for a little bit, and then obviously films, because that's exactly film and telly.
That's what we love.
That's what we like.
Yeah.
So, but we've been kind of cracking on, really. We're doing some bits for the documentary, aren't we?
Yeah, so that is now out, the crowdfunder and the trailer sort of thing that we've created.
Which is great.
So please go check that out in our bio. Or in the description, or whatever you're watching this on.
However this is coming to you, there will be a link in there somewhere.
Which is fantastic. We can tell you a bit more about that now. It's actually out. We're working with Tiana, as we've said. She's in Southeast Asia, and she's going to be talking to
sanctuaries and other charities. That's
experts on elephant tourism and the handlers who have experience with these elephants. And I think it's going to be fascinating.
I think it's going to be a really interesting
really
project,
excited for it. But yeah, if you fancy checking it out and even donating to the cause, because as I've said, we're crowdfunding to raise the budget to create this. That would be much appreciated, and thank you very much for all the support we've had so far.
So far it's been going really well. So we've had lots of lovely interactions, lots of donations already. Yeah. But if you are feeling generous, then obviously that'd be lovely to see. But of course, there's no pressure. But it's always nice to do. So that's always good. So we've got that going, which is exciting, and that'll be rolling. I think the crowdfunder runs until I can't remember. It's about a month or so.
Yeah, about a month.
So that'll be good, and then we'll probably do a fresh takes. God, I need to stop. Everything's fresh. It's all fresh content.
All fresh,
though.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
All fresh content. But that'll be coming. We'll probably do a little rundown on how that's looking a little bit later down the line.
I'm sure we'll do lots of behind the scenes. And
we'll be there doing all that sort of bits and pieces. So stay tuned to all our usual channels and things, our Instagram, our TikTok, which we've recently set up. So recently, it's been about 3 weeks or so.
Yep.
Something like that. But that's ticking over nicely. So if you haven't followed us already on there, Fresh Produce is on there. Sorry, no words there. Fresh Produce is on there. Doing a bit of this on there at the moment. But yeah, it's all very nice and exciting. Kept up with Daredevil like last week. Yeah. It's gotten significantly better.
Yeah, I actually, after our last chat, I've seen a lot of good publicity for it. So I was wondering if you finished it or...
I'm fully caught up now. So the next one comes out tomorrow. It's significantly better. It's good. not as slow paced, and there's been things going on.
Yeah.
Lots of people getting punched, which isn't usually the but it's just fun to watch, and I've been keeping going with that. So that's been nice. I went to the cinema the other day, actually. Speaking of Marvel stuff, finally watched the new Captain America, which was absolutely fine.
Fine?
Just fine.
Yeah, because that's not been received
too well.
With Anthony Mackie?
Yes, that's the guy.
Love him
as
an actor.
He's fantastic. I really like him.
And Harrison Ford, of course.
The old Harrison Ford, yeah. I think Harrison Ford needs a bit of time off, man. I think he can.
He loves the money, though.
He likes
loves
the
it.
money. He can go to bed now.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. God, I haven't seen that in a while. I might watch Jerry Maguire tonight.
That was Alison Hammond, was what I was referencing.
No, it's Jerry Maguire, Tom Cruise, where he's on the phone. He's going, "Show me the money."
Oh, there's also Harrison Ford with Ryan Gosling.
Oh yes, when they're in that
Runner
interview
with Alison Hammond, and he goes, "Show me the money."
Well, that's probably again.
Must be what he was referencing.
That maybe. There we go.
So.
My apologies. I'm not the biggest of Alison Hammond fan. I think that was this morning, wasn't it? Was it this morning?
Yeah.
Not this morning, as in this morning.
Yeah, but
as in
show
this morning.
Yeah.
I've said this morning too many times. It's the pressure. I'm being cracked. But yeah, what else have you been watching recently? Anything taking your fancy?
Well, just while we've been talking about TV series, I've started rewatching Andor season 1 because season 2 comes out at the end of this month.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited for. I'm a huge fan of Andor. I think it's brilliant.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Brilliant.
I really like
gritty,
Andor.
it's dark, it's proper Star Wars. And I think I would go as far to say it's taken Star Wars in a completely different direction it's never quite got to. How
it feels almost like, I would almost feel like feels Western-esque in some aspects. Like it's got that kind of gritty, quiet.
Yeah, it's very dark
and
emotional and very, very good.
He's great in it as well.
Fantastic.
He's just fantastic.
And the Swedish actor is also very good in it. It's got a very good cast in general, to be honest.
Very good cast. I mean,
it's just brilliant.
Andy Serkis was fantastic in that first season. He's just great.
Of course, yeah, of course.
I love Andy Serkis. Whatever he does.
Really. I haven't got to that bit in the rewatch. That's why I haven't mentioned him. But obviously he's fantastic.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not spoil it for those who haven't seen it. Obviously, it's just incredible. Andor.
But if you're a Star Wars fan, give it a watch because season 2 is coming out soon. I'm psyched for it.
Speaking of Star Wars, we were talking about this at work the other day. So I recently rewatched the original 3.
Okay.
Because I hadn't seen the original 3 in quite a long time. I watched A New Hope fairly recently.
Yeah.
But I hadn't seen Empire or Return of the Jedi in ages.
Okay.
And I was surprised about how good Empire was, which is no surprise.
Empire's... Yeah. Well, I mean, they're all fantastic,
they're all pretty good.
They? Yeah.
But I was a bit surprised by Return of the Jedi. I didn't love it as much as I remember it.
Wow.
I was kind of like,
interesting.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's great. It's still fantastic, but it's not...
You don't like the whole Ewoks and Endor? No.
I think the problem is I'd watched
and Jabba's Palace bit at the beginning.
That's great, isn't it? When they're
I
having the fight.
I love all of them.
It is good. I think the problem is it's just not as good as Empire.
Yeah.
That's my issue. And I watched them literally back to back.
Yeah.
Like, I'd stopped one and went straight to the other. I'm watching the Disney Plus cuts. I know someone's going to kill me on that I haven't found the laser discs of the original print or whatever.
I watched them on Disney Plus as well.
Yeah, it's the way it's just
nice.
Fair, it's nice and convenient. I'm afraid to say.
That's absolutely fair.
Yeah, but that's been good.
I think Empire Strikes Back obviously has that iconic cinema moment, which means people just love it. And it's iconic.
It is iconic, and there's so many great lines in that. I love when Han's going into the carbonite. He's like, I know.
Yeah.
He just drops in so ominously. It's great.
Yeah, very good.
Such things of their time as well. Such products of their time.
Brilliant.
So they are good. But anyway, we could probably talk about Star Wars for another hour or so.
Yeah, we always talk about Star Wars, but Andor is coming out, so it is relevant.
Revert back to Star Wars. Yeah. But you were talking to me about the new Snow White the other day.
Yeah, so I haven't seen it, but it's been received very, very poorly, which is very interesting. And Rachel Zegler, I don't want to mispronounce her name, has been surrounded in controversy following, in the process of this film coming out. And I just think it's very interesting. I mean, this is a very young, very talented, brilliant actress who's kind of burst onto the stage with West Side Story with Spielberg, and then was in Hunger Games film and is now in the remake of Snow White. And it's been revealed that she hasn't got any acting jobs following Snow White in film.
Well,
because Snow White has done so poorly. And
they've never been good. I've never I rewatched The Beauty and the Beast, funnily enough, for it fairly recently.
The live action.
Live action. For some reason, I saw it 3 times in the cinema. That's weird. I just ended up with people that hadn't seen it. I was like, well, I don't really want to watch that, but I felt a bit bad, so I had to go. And that wasn't very good. I didn't like that at all.
They've been very hit and miss, the live-action remakes, for sure.
I don't know. Well, I know why. It's because it's printing money.
I like Aladdin.
With the old Will Smith.
Will Smith, yeah.
I just found him just Will Smith's face.
Yeah.
Out on the genie on that film, I just think of such a funny image.
And
just him dancing around.
The Jungle Book. It's not called that, but the Jungle Book live-action remake.
I can't remember.
That was brilliant, actually. Oh. That was very good. I really enjoyed that. So, just to read out some of the things that Rachel Zegler has gone out into the media saying. I've got the receipts. And always remember Free Palestine, which, I won't go into detail about. Donald Trump. That's the first F-bomb, I think.
That is the first one. I think we might bleep that out.
Yeah, we'll bleep that out. May Trump supporters and Trump himself never know peace.
This isn't really what I expected for my Tuesday afternoon.
And then she issued an apology regarding the Trump comments. She's also, I think the best word for it is slag off the original quite publicly and quite savagely.
I'm not as up to date on this as you are.
So I haven't got the quote for that, but she basically said that it had dated very poorly and represented women very poorly. This is just paraphrasing, yeah. And that the new one was going to represent women better and strong women who don't just look for love. And while I understand that the whole purpose of a remake is to freshen things up, but excuse the pun, it's not a great idea to literally burn the original down to the ground.
Well, it was a very highly regarded film. It's still a classic, isn't it? But
people who want to see the remake are people who love the original, so it's very strange.
But it's nice to bring, I suppose, a fresh take.
A fresh take
on old stories, and I think it's fair enough. I haven't seen it, so I can't pass judgment.
I haven't seen it, so I can't.
So we can't pass judgment. But but
very interesting.
Lots of discourse over the new Snow White project, which I suppose has been very. Well, again, mixed reception, but I think I'm sure it's nice to see. It's always nice to see fresh ideas and fresh takes on things. God, I'm going to keep saying that today. It's just going to haunt me, isn't it? I want to talk about it. So today, lots of the CinemaCon stuff has been coming out over the past day or so, or something like that. So I think we got the new Spider-Man titles coming out, which just looks good. But the one I wanted to talk about the most was the new Beatles film.
Okay.
Films, I should say.
Films.
So they're doing four separate films.
Wow.
For each four separate films for the Beatles.
For each member.
For each member. And I quote, actually, I've written the quote down. A 4-film cinematic event.
Interesting.
Wow. For the original boy band, as it were, the Beatles. Yeah. We've got a pretty impressive cast, to be honest. I mean, the big name there, Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney.
Wow.
As Macca.
Nice.
Which you can't really, but he's pretty much a faultless actor. He's not been in he's not been in a bad project. I mean, I watched him in Normal People. That's the first time I remember seeing him. Gladiator, was pretty good.
Of course. Yeah,
he was good in that. The film maybe wasn't the best, but there we go. What else? He's been in things. He's been in lots of stuff.
Sure he has.
I'm sure he's been in other things. I've seen it. After Sun. How did I forget that? That's fantastic. But you've also got Barry Keoghan or Keegan.
No, yeah. Wow.
As Ringo Starr.
Interesting. That is very, very interesting. I'd like to see that.
Which will be good. And then you've
Obviously a very good actor.
He's fantastic. He's going to be the new Joker. He's been in lots of other great stuff. He was in...
he's going to be in Peaky Blinders.
He is going to be in Peaky Blinders, actually. I need to watch Peaky Blinders. That's all. That's been never seen it. And it's been on my list
give it a watch,
ages.
100%.
I'll put it along with Adolescence on that pile. I will watch it. I swear I will. Joseph Quinn, who's obviously kind of... up and coming.
Is this a Stranger Things?
That's he was in Stranger Things. He was also in Gladiator with Gladiator 2. With Paul Mescal
and The Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
The prequel.
Prequel. Yeah.
What's that called?
Can't remember.
That was very good, actually.
I mean, I like the first. The first Quiet Place is incredible. I like John Krasinski and anything.
I like John Krasinski and everything.
Which the
prequel is very, very good as well.
God, what was that called? No, that's going to be stuck in my head now for the rest of it. What was
the first Silence or something like that? The first. Oh, I don't know.
The only film podcast that can't get its titles
literally,
right. But that's good. But he's going to be playing George Harrison.
That's a very good cast.
Very good cast, isn't it? I mean, if you're going to do it well, right?
Yeah.
And it is the Beatles. Like, that is kind of, they were arguably the most iconic one of the most iconic bands in their entirety. Sam Mendes is going to be directing.
Really? Mm-hmm. Now I'm very interested. Sam Mendes is probably up there with my favourite directors. I think whenever he gets involved in a film, it's fantastic. So that's very exciting.
I assume he's doing all 4.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Anyway, but I think he's fantastic. I quite like a lot of Mendes stuff.
Yeah,
he's great.
I'm big fan of Sam Mendes. I think he's incredible. Yeah,
very, very, very good talent. I think.
And that'll be an interesting concept. Sam Mendes on a
Beatles biopic. Yeah. And we're talking about, when we're speaking to Savannah, about music biopics, right? Yeah. And
they're really popping off. And
will this be the magnum opus, as it were, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I
think it could be.
It is the Beatles, right? You can't really get...
Stellar cast, stellar director.
Stellar cast.
Sounds pretty promising.
Sounds pretty teed up. And so backed by Sony, obviously, so it's going to be,
mega budget.
Mega money into it. I do wonder, though.
Good.
I do, because they said, there was another quote I saw that said it was going to be the first bingeable cinema event.
Yeah. Okay.
So... I don't know. Are they going to release all 4 at the same time? I mean,
you're just in the cinema all day.
You're just going to be sat there having a 4 cinema event, watching all the Beatles, catching like George going to the shops.
Or will it almost be like a 4-part thing on Netflix or something like that? Do you think maybe Amazon?
No. It'll be in cinemas, won't it? It's a cinematic event.
You're right. It does. It does say cinematic.
So I'm thinking, how they're going to do it is going to be like each of their lives prior to meeting. Is it going to be about 4 different parts in the Beatles' career? I mean, they had the one of the longest and most varied, one of the most varied careers of all time, right? So, I mean, there's ways of going about it. It's just quite an exciting project. I mean, we're 3 years. I think it's released sometime in 2028. So I can't remember off the complete top of my head, but that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
I wonder if
I'm looking forward to that.
Maybe one a season, maybe one in winter, spring, summer. What's the other one?
He said it was
bingeable, right? So would that mean
that does imply you can watch them one after
the other? So maybe it's going to be a bit of a longer form thing. But I think that's quite just an ambitious project, isn't it?
Concept,
it's just interesting. Yeah. And I think something like that is. I mean, it's lovely to see a British icons, as it were, by a fantastic director. I think it's just going to be a really. That's something that I'm quite intrigued by.
No, that sounds very interesting.
I'm not the biggest of Beatles fans, but I do love my music.
I'd agree with that.
Quite intrigued in seeing how they'll do it. Because I think, again, it is, like I said, I'm repeating myself for no sake, but it is just one of those, I think, the biggest project you could possibly take on. So, and there was a little press shot of them, which we will flash up now. Always wants to do that.
It's okay. Go for it.
Go for the faff in the edit now. Might put some explosions up. Who knows? No, but it's going to be. I think it's just going to be quite an exciting project. But
definitely.
Yeah. No. There we go. But that's what perked my interest today.
No. That does sound very interesting.
I'm sure after we stop recording this and I check my phone, there's going to be 30 other announcements that I've forgotten to mention. But that's something that really piqued my interest, even over the new Spider-Man stuff, which is always a bit of a brand new day. That's going to be good. The old Thomas Holland. That's not his name. But there we go. I don't
completely invested in the Tom Holland Spider-Man, to be brutally honest.
I've not been sold. I don't say he's that's not, because I'll have an argument about that for 7 hours and end up in like a bit of a hole.
Okay, fair enough.
But there we go.
I'd like to talk about Electric State.
Yes, go on.
Because I've seen that since we were last here. Maybe this has some recency bias because I've only just watched it, but I can't remember a film which was worse that I've seen, in all honesty. I thought it was just a mess. Just a mess.
Was there anything in particular that kind of threw?
I thought the beginning was very rushed. I mean, we had so much information going on right at the beginning, which was just so rushed, which meant you had no sort of involvement in the main character, Millie Bobby Brown's character. And just the whole concept was weak and didn't work, didn't really add anything. Like the whole robot war thing.
For those that don't know, give us a brief synopsis of the plot.
Well, this is the point. I don't really know what the plot was. I think the general idea is that Millie Bobby Brown's character is searching for her long-lost brother, who she thinks is dead, but isn't dead. He's trapped in a robot. Post this robot war, which has left the world in a state, basically.
An electric state, as it were.
Yeah, electric state. There you go. Similar to Ready Player One, where they're all kind of way too involved and obsessed with
a VR world, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea, and there's not really much more to it than that, really, apart from this whole kind of robot rights movement that she kind of gets involved with. It's very strange. I think the main thing it lacks is just any sort of empathy for the character. You should be rooting for her to find her brother, but I just didn't have that at all.
Yeah.
I just thought it was all very rushed. I thought the ending was slightly better. The ending, when it got to the ending, I was like, right, I see what they were trying to do, but it just didn't work. And it also got me thinking about Chris Pratt, because Chris Pratt's in the film.
The old Chris Pratt.
And we were talking last time about the Jurassic World films. He's having a pretty poor run of movies, this guy.
I mean...
There's obviously some good ones in there.
I mean, there was the Super Mario movie, which wasn't too bad. And if you're into that, then that's great. He was okay in that. What else? Guardians Volume 3 was very good.
The Marvel stuff he's done, and it's also all obviously been good.
What else? God, it was in Passengers. Have you ever seen Passengers? I really like Passengers.
Passengers was very, very good.
Yeah.
So he obviously has had some very good films, but he's also had some pretty awful ones. The two... Well, we said the first Jurassic World film is very, very good, but the two since then were pretty abysmal. Electric State, pretty abysmal. Garfield, I don't know if you've seen that. Pretty awful. Just to go through Chris Pratt's recent films on IMDb, where is... So the first Jurassic World, 6.9, wasn't too bad. Passengers obviously did well, 7. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, 7.6.
No.
6.1 for Fallen Kingdom. Lego Movie 2, 6.5. The Kid, 5.9.
He's Emmett, isn't he?
Yeah,
the Lego
he
movie.
is.
Of course he is.
The Tomorrow War, I don't know if you've seen that, 6.6, not great. Dominion, Jurassic World, 5.6. Thor Love and Thunder.
Thor Love and Thunder,
6.2.
Yeah, but he wasn't the lead in that. He was in it for 5 minutes.
Super Mario Bros. 7. Guardians of the Galaxy 7.9, pretty decent. Garfield 5.7, Electric State 5.9.
Bit of a shocker, that, isn't it?
He's not on a good run.
He's not on a good run, but
he has had some good.
He's had some bangers as well. Look, not all of them can be bangers, and that's what you got to remember. But I do like the Chris Pratt.
I love him.
Funny. I've seen him when you watch the clips in Parks and Rec. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's just got a nice, likeable.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Electric State has such a good cast.
If there's anything you'd like to chat to us about, please leave a comment or get in touch.
Yeah, anything you'd like us to discuss.
Anything you'd like us to discuss or to get through. I think we'll be doing another one of these maybe in a couple of weeks, which will be good. In the meantime, I think we've got maybe some exciting bits. We might have a trip video, maybe.
Oh, okay.
No, we won't. That's a joke. But no, we might have some bits coming up that are going to be really exciting. So we've got obviously the documentary coming up. We've got another episode of Fresh Produce coming soon. And again, I think we might be, hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe speaking to one of our previous actors soon.
Yeah.
So we need to get in touch with that.
Trying
to get that in the books.
Yeah.
But thank you very much as always.
Yeah, thank you very
much. Have a wonderful rest of your day or whatever, or tuning in. But thank you very much. That's all from us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye.